Hello class, so for this problem, here the population of ants, it says the population of ants is growing at a rate of 8% per year. So the fact that it's talking about percentage, that should tell you that you're going to need an exponent somewhere. So if the initial population, initially we're starting with 160 ants, then how many ants will there be in 6 years? That's the question. So initially, I'm going to write initial population is equal to 160. All right. So how many ants will there be in 6 years? That's the question. So after 6 years, so you start at, so population after 6 years is equal to, you start with what's given to you, the initial population. So how many ants we have today is 160. Okay. And it's growing at 8%. So right now, let's start with 1. Right now we have 100% of the ants, which is 1.0. On top of that, plus they're growing at 8% per year. So plus 8%. And how do you write percent in terms of a decimal? Good. You make it 0.08. So you just move back 2 places, right? So 0.08, that corresponds to 8%. So we want to figure out population after 6 years. So it's to the power of some time t. Why is it a power and not multiplication? Why is it an exponent, not multiplication? Because it's a percent. So it's increasing by that percent. If the question was it's increasing by 8 ants per year, no percent, then you would just multiply it by t. Okay. So here your final answer will be 160 times 1.08 to the power of what? The number of years you're going for, to the power of 6. So now you would just put that in your calculator, 1.08 to the power of 6, and then multiply it by 160. Do this part first. Make sure you do your exponent part first. So you do 1.08 to the power of 6. So you should get 1.58. So it'll be 160 times 1.58. That's going to equal to whatever answer that is. 1.58 times 160. So you get 252.8. But you're not going to have a 0.8 of an ant. That will be a really scary ant. So I'll just round it up to 253. 253 ants. All right, so we're done with part A. So excuse me while I move to part B. I hope this one is pretty clear. Please excuse the fact that the board is really dirty. So yeah, I need to clean it today. So part B, how long will it take for the population to triple? So initially there's 160 ants. So when it triples, how many ants are we going to have? What's 160 times 3? 480. Good job. Good. So I'm going to do part B over here. All right, so there's more real estate to work with. So now look at that formula. So you basically, this right here is our formula. P equals blah, blah, blah. So here, P equals 160 times 1.08 to the power of t. So what do we want our P to be in this case? We want it to triple. So we want our P to be 480. All right. Start at 160. So what's the first step now? Yes, divide both sides by 160. So you're left with just 3 equals 1.08 to the power of t. So to get t by itself, best thing to do is to take, how do you get rid of an exponent? How do you get rid of an exponent? You take the log of both sides. So when in doubt, log out. So log of both sides equals log 1.08 to the power of t. So because you're logging both sides, the t is going to come, this exponent is going to come up front. So you're left with log 3 equals t times log times 1.08. So how do you get t by itself? Divide both sides by log of 1.08. Okay, I'm going to put that in the calculator. You should try it too. You can pause the video and put it in